Welcome to the Q1 Buck Pull. Tim Hart and Mike Big Buck Hoffner. Well, we have been partying all over the state. On today's show, though, we're going to be at Ubly Heights Golf and Country Club. We've got stories from there. We've got stories from just all over the state. You know, Mike, it's always fun to meet the hunters.
Yeah, you kind of traveled statewide, Tim. You must be one tired dude.
I am. Also on today's show, we've got Jerry Slade from Michigan Whitetail Properties. He's going to be talking about setting up your land to optimize really what's going on out there for the wildlife.
Yeah, you know, that's been a common theme all year long for us, Tim, is really practicing, quality deer management to make our deer herd in Michigan even better.
We also have Jenny from Michigan Out of Doors TV. They're going to be traditional bow hunting for pheasant.
Yeah, I've seen that segment, Tim, and that looks like one wild time. And you know what? I'd like to give that a shot.
I bet you would. Anything you'd like to give a shot to, I know that. Remember, you can see all the big bucks at Q1BuckPull.com. You can check out the final standings and go online today. Stay with us. We got more coming up. You're watching the Q1 Buck Pull.
Q1 Buck Pull, Michigan's biggest and best buck pull contest. Brought to you by these sponsors who support Michigan's great outdoors.
We have been partying all over the state, and today we're at the Ubly Heights Golf and Country Club. Thanks to Pat and her crew who did a fabulous job there. And you know, Mike, we've got stories from around the state on today's show.
Yeah, you know, I really think, Tim, the thing about the culmination of the end of the season is the friends that we've made on the Q1 Buck Pull.
Well, it's fun to hear the stories, the big racks, from somebody who has taken the biggest deer they ever got to somebody who has taken the first deer. Here's some of the stories from our parties around the state.
I got it Saturday after gun opener, 8:30 in the morning, getting kind of bored, nothing was happening, and I caught a glimpse at about 150 yards of something white going through the woods. Didn't see anything with the binoculars, so I waited a bit, and a little bit later I saw it further over, I saw another white glimpse and couldn't tell what it was, put the binoculars on, still couldn't see anything. They got straight to my right, and I'm standing up by this time and put the binoculars on, and I saw the antlers, and got me a little excited, but pretty quick I turned around and looked behind me. I could see him crossing the ditch, and I had to turn around in the tree, watched him for a bit and looked ahead of him for an opening. Once I found the opening, I had to kneel down backwards on my tree stand, flip up the seat, rest the gun on the back of the seat, and hit him about 80 to 85 yards, perfect shot right behind the shoulder. He ran back towards me and died, jumped across the ditch and died at the base of the tree and rolled back down the side of the ditch. I mean, didn't have to track him, he came right to me.
Well, congratulations, that is a great looking deer and a great looking mount. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We've got Dale here, and you're a new member of Wheeland Team
457.
457. You had a 10-pointer, a total score of 36.5. He shot it with a bow in Attica. Let me hear your story.
Well, we found some property that a nice farmer had let the Wheeland Team hunt there, and we set up a couple tents, and it was probably the second week of bow season, and I seen that 10-point squaring up with another 10-point almost identical. The other one backed off real quick, and he stayed out in the field, and he just headed over my way, and luckily I had the blind set up in the right spot, and everything come together just right, and was able to make a nice shot and got my first 10-point. I've shot 9 points before, but never a 10, so that was a good deal.
So a step up. So did you have help out in the woods, or is this your own area?
No, I had help. Ray and some of the volunteers help us set up the tents, and then help us also get out into the blinds too. So it makes it nice. It makes it great.
Well, and they've got some great guys.
Oh, you know, it's just great being outside. You know, you see stuff that you'd never see if you were inside, and without some of the help from the guys in the Wheeland Team that volunteer their time to help us get out in the woods, it just makes it all that much more better, you know, because they're taking time out of their day to help us out. And then once you get out there, it's just great. It's a good feeling.
So Keith Brocker shot an 8-pointer. He came in with a total score of 39. He shot it with a shotgun. He's out of Attica. And let's hear your story now.
It was second day and about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'd just seen doe and fawns going off to the southeast, and I just kept watching them out of the corner of my eye, and a few minutes went by, and all of a sudden I seen movement over there again, and I looked and I could just see the butt of a deer sticking out behind a tree. I wasn't paying much attention, and all of a sudden it stepped out, and I seen this rack on it, and I about pooped myself.
Did you get all cleaned up after you had your accident and shot the deer?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's a good sign. Well, we appreciate you being here tonight. This is the biggest rack in the Q1 buck pool.
About 3 o'clock, I got out there on October 23rd. It was the second time I could hunt that stand with that south wind. And actually 2 hours later, about 6:20, he popped out. It was quiet. It was like misting that night. And it was real quiet. He come out about 40 yards. He popped out of the real thick brush. And he stood there for about 5 minutes feeding in the food plot, right on the edge of the food plot. And I was thinking I might have to take a shot at 40 yards, but he ended up actually walking 20 yards closer to me. And then he turned to his left and gave me a shot. And I hit him pretty good. I actually thought it was a little bit low, a little bit forward, up by the shoulder. And he immediately when he ran, he snapped the arrow in half, so I knew I got pretty good penetration on him. And he went about 70 yards. I could hear him crashing through the brush, and then I heard him stop. So I thought maybe he died, maybe not. And I went out, got out, went to the house, talked to my brother about it because we knew about this deer. We seen him all summer long. And about hour and a half later, I gave him a little bit of time. Hour and a half later, we went out and tracked him. When we found him, we knew immediately. We knew it was him. The 60-day drying period was over. It ended up going 210 and 5/8 gross and netted 198.
That's a new record, right?
Yeah, it's Lapeer County record, non-typical, and it's like number 12 or number 13 in the state with a bow.
Kyle Bonner, congratulations. Let's give him one round. Well, I hope you enjoyed those stories. We've got all kinds of stories coming up. Our final party is here right now. And, you know, Mike, once again, we have great sponsors giving away some wonderful prizes, and we appreciate them for being a part of what we're doing.
Yeah, most of all, like I said before, it's the great friendships that we've made from the business people that have supported our sport down to the hunters themselves.
All right, now, if you're interested in finding out how you should plot out your land with food plots, we got Jerry Slade from Michigan Whitetail Properties coming up. You're watching the Q1 Buck Pool. Back here in the Q1 Buck Poll, I had a chance to talk to Jerry Slade with Michigan Whitetail Properties. And you know, Mike, he strategically plants and places a variety of food plots all over his land in order to attract the deer and all wildlife and give them some nourishment throughout the winter.
You know, the thing I like about doing this time of the season, we're kind of in the off season, so you can plot out your properties, and this is a great time when the downtime is around to make your plan effective for next year.
Here's my interview with Jerry Slade. Jerry Slade is with me right now. He's with Michigan Whitetail Properties, a division of the Slade Group. Jerry, you know, an expert in hunting land. And, you know, there's a lot of people that have a piece of property and they don't know what they want to do with it, but you know what they want? They want deer all over the place. What are some of the things that you can do to help those guys out?
Right. They want big bucks. They want deer. They want everything that we all want. We have habitat specialists that work for us. I myself am one. Chad Thalen, Scott Coe. The rest of the group are all very knowledgeable in habitat, what type of habitat to create to both attract deer and create deer movement, which is the whole big thing, the key to hunting.
Now, when we're talking about deer movement, you've got a piece of land over here that you've kind of set up, you know, kind of what you're telling me, like an H pattern. What do you mean by that?
Well, anytime a mature buck will walk into a field, let's say he comes out of this cover down here, if he can look all the way down here and see there's nothing in this field that entices him, he's going to walk back into the cover, and that's where he's going to stay. We break these sections up so that they have to travel out. If they want to search out one of those does, or they want to search out a buck that they feel is threatening their area, they're going to come in and go out in all these little points. They have to, through all of these fingers and all of these areas, those bucks have to move. And every time they do that, they're becoming more vulnerable to us, the hunter.
So really setting up a screen so that they can't necessarily see beyond the screen,
Absolutely.
so that their curiosity, they've got to go and take a see what's going on.
Exactly. Curiosity killed the buck instead of the cat in this case.
Buck or doe, whatever the case may be, whatever your goal is that day. Now, what type of food plots have you set up that have been successful for you?
Oh my goodness, we've trial and error over the years, but we have perennial food plots, which are mostly clover and chicory, that will last 5 to 6 years depending on how you take care of them and depending on your soil types. And then we also have annuals that sometimes we plant in the spring and sometimes we plant in the fall. Just like you and I, we don't like eating the same thing at every meal, neither do deer. So here on this property, we've got 12 different things planted. We've got beans, we've got oats, we've got Austrian peas, we've got milo, we've got sorghum, we've got chicory, we've got alfalfa, we've got clover, and the list goes on. The deer really change as the season changes. It's funny because chicory and clover in the spring and summer gets to fall like it is now, and they start weaning themselves off of that and start getting into the other things that we have available here.
Now, will you mix and match in certain areas, or will you plant a certain, chicory here, and then I'm just going to put another row of, clover here, that sort of thing, or you kind of mix and match in there side by side?
It's actually a good question because chicory and clover is more of a spring and summer food. That's a sustenance plot. That's something that keeps the deer healthy, keeps them full of minerals and protein. They don't really hit the clover and chicory during hunting season. Early October, yes, but once it starts to cool off, they start changing. And so the other plots that you plant, the annuals, are the harvest plots. Those are the plots that you're actually going to hunt over. So therefore, like the buck forage oats, which are high in sugar content, they're going to really hit them hard in the fall because they haven't tasted that yet this year.
So then if I've got a stand right here, that would be something to have in this area?
Absolutely, absolutely.
What are some of the other type of things that would be good to set up by my stand?
Brassicas are real good. Brassicas are turnips, sugar beets, things like that. They will eat the big greeny leafy tops of those in the warm weather. Once the frost comes and it freezes, the sugars come out of those turnips, and then they start digging them up just like the pigs would on a farm.
Well, some great information. Anything else that somebody might want to know about setting up their land or taking a look at a piece of land?
Feel free to just call us. Everybody's got different tastes and different wants and needs, and we can kind of service the whole deal.
All right, Jerry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Jerry Slade from Michigan Whitetail Properties, a division of the Slade Group, here on the Q1 Buck Poll. As Jerry talked about, there's a variety of food plots that you can use and a variety of configurations that you can set up. But the whole bottom line is creating a wildlife habitat, not just for deer, but for all wildlife.
It's part of the whole grand master plan, and I think if you paid attention to the details, you can make very effective use of his study today.
When we come back, Jenny from Michigan Out of Doors TV is going to have some fun shooting pheasant with traditional bows. Stay with us. You're watching the Q1 Buck Poll. Well, it's time to do a little pheasant hunting with Jenny from Michigan Out of Doors TV. And you know, Mike, they had colored arrows so they knew who shot what, and they had somebody in the background that if the pheasant got away from the arrows, they got him.
You know what, though? Traditional bows and pheasant hunting, I never put the combination together, but when I saw the segment, I was fired up about it. Talk about a fun time. Let's go do it.
Here's a special segment from Michigan Out of Doors TV.
This afternoon at the Pheasant Ridge Hunt Club near Imlay City, something a little out of the ordinary was about to unfold. A group of die-hard traditional archers gathered for a bird hunt. Boyer Jim Belcher and Carbon Express owner Bob Eastman were on hand to take part in the festivities too.
Jim, tell me what's going on today.
Well, we're going pheasant hunting with our bows. Hopefully we're going to whack some pheasants and some chuckers. We got a group of guys together. A lot of them are, all close friends and stuff. We got retailers here, we got manufacturers, we got customers, we got a little bit of everything going.
How often do you pheasant hunt with your bow?
This will be the third time. So this is something that we try to do every year or so, and we've done it European style before. This time we're going to do a walk-up style. We've got an honored guest, Bob Eastman from Carbon Express Arrows. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
One thing was evident right off the bat. After a lifetime of shotgun hunting for birds, this looks a lot different to me. No need to break off into smaller groups. Everyone hunted together in a close-knit bunch. When bird dogs Arrow and Draper found the first bird, it all started to make sense.
That was a loud ball.
Good draw. Arrow.
Whoa, it almost hit you in the head.
Well, after a bunch of misses, we finally found a bird to cooperate.
Nope, Tom's on it.
All right. Nice one, Jim. All right.
Let's see that.
I told you we would get one sooner or later from somewhere. That was awesome. Yeah. Hey.
Got a bird, Jenny. Now you're going to get a bird coming down on camera.
You got that one, Bob.
You got it, Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, you hit him. Yeah, you hit him. Way to go. Nice one.
Wounded one?
But it didn't go down,
You
Jenny.
knocked him sideways.
I
though.
knocked him sideways. What can I say?
That's
Almost
good.
as good as my buddy Jim. Almost.
Nice hit.
Our day in the field was wrapping up, and on our way back in, I caught up with Bob Eastman, one of the most experienced archers out here today.
As far as bow hunters go, you're quite an accomplished bow hunter, been hunting all over the world and taking lots of different big game animals. Is this still exciting to be out here today?
Oh, Jen, this is really exciting to be with a bunch of guys who just love the sport, love getting out. I just think about this today, what we did. What a great place to bring a father-daughter team just to be out in the woods for the afternoon and a little bit of rain, but who cares? It's been great. We got 3 birds.
Right.
And had a lot of fun. So what more can you ask for?
Sure.
I've been lucky and I've gotten a lot of game, but it's because I've been a lot of hunts. So as a percentage, I haven't been that successful. I've just been going to Africa for every year for 30 years, so you're going to get some game. So someone comes out here and shoots 20, 30 times, they're going to at least get some feathers. It's fun, it's action.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you like about doing this, like today? What was your favorite part about being out here?
Most favorite part? Just being with a bunch of great ladies and guys, talking about archery and past successes and what they're going to do this fall, and seeing a lot of misses. But we had fun. It wasn't in the killing, it was in the doing.
Of course, it's all about the camaraderie on a hunt like this, and it presents the unique opportunity of taking a one-on-one sport like archery hunting and turns it into a group activity full of laughs, and if you're lucky, a few birds for the dinner table.
We'd like to thank Michigan Outdoors TV for working with us this year, kind of co-promoting, sending us some segments. And you know, Mike, it's always great to work with people around the state. We also work with Mike Avery Outdoors on his radio show.
Yeah, you know, it's been a great season, Tim, and we've had a lot of fun, and I think it's been a successful year.
Check it all out on Q1Buckpole.com, and you can see the big bucks from around the state. You can watch past TV segments, and coming up, you'll be able to watch what all happened at the Soaring Eagle Casino at our final party. For Mike Big Buck Hoffner, I'm Tim Hart. Make sure whenever you're out in the woods, you stay safe. Thanks for watching this week's edition of the Q1 Buckpole.
For the latest on Michigan hunting, pick up the current edition of Woods and Water News, Michigan's premier outdoor publication, available on newsstands or by subscription. Woods and Water News, proud sponsor of the Q1 Buckpole.
I got chapped lips, so let me put some chapstick on my lips. I didn't know you were filming that. This isn't filming, is it?
Yeah, go ahead. You know,
I saw
like
Pheasant Ridge, and as soon as I saw Pleasant Ridge, I knew he said it because that's my address. Pleasant Ridge.
Oh, that's why I was thinking that, because I know where you live.
Exactly. But my job is to edit your material.
Oh, right. Hang on a second.
Being
Hang
an
on
educator, Tim, let's go back to it. I'm proofread and edit your material. You know what I could do is on the prompter over here, I could red line it, but I'm not going to do it.
Thank you, teacher, very much. You know what
discipline.
they say? If you can't teach, you do what? Administrate.
The pain I go through and suffering just to make you look good.
Party time is what we're doing here on the Q1 Buck Pull. Party time. Yeah, I don't like that. 5 seconds over.
5 seconds over.
Give us 5 seconds, Katie. Come on.
Go, Timmy, go.
I'm going.
All right.